Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about how no one collects comic books just for the fun of it. It's really all about the money. So before we start talking, I want you to ask yourself one question. If you had to get rid of all your comic books, would you just be okay with giving them away or letting them go for nothing? And the answer is no. Is your comic book collection just the feelings, the nostalgia attached to it? Or is that giant collection you have in your closet of short boxes, long boxes, and slabs and everything else, is it really just a collection of money? I recently started thinking about this after I went on a live stream with a channel called The Comic Doctor. He's a little bit older than me, but he kind of gave me some insight into the mentality of somebody even in the 80s and even in the late 70s getting into comics. So my dad grew up in the 60s, and he had the foresight to keep his late 60s DC comic book collection because he knew that it wasn't just for fun. It wasn't just, this disposable entertainment, those funny books. He knew that it was something. He didn't know what it was worth or why he should keep it, but he knew it was something. Just like the Comic Doctor did, he knew that those comic books that he was buying in the 70s and 80s could be worth something. That seed was planted in him. And even me, not a collector in the early 90s of comic books, I was buying Thai Beanie Babies. Same principle applies, where I almost had to justify why I was buying, why I was collecting, not only to myself, to my family, the people that were buying the things, that, hey, these are something more than just stuffed animals. And let's face facts, your comic book collection is nothing more than just old paper. Before you've got totally triggered, I'm not saying that your love of comics, your love of comic book characters, your love of superheroes, your love of the stories is fake, or you're just doing that for the money. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the actual physical collecting of comic books. It can only go so far before it goes past nostalgia, it goes past just putting your childhood back together, or just the love of the hobby. An example that I really wanted to kind of show was this. Todd McFarlane's Wizard, #1. And in this book, there are prices. There is a price guide. And in September 1991, this book came out, and later there would be issue after issue of this, establishing a price guide, establishing value attached to your collectible that you love. Modern day, fast forward to 2024, this principle applies more now than ever before. If you are an adult person collecting comic books and you're not a 10, 11-year-old kid, are you doing it all just for fun? The thousands of dollars that you're spending, is that all just fun and games? The answer is no. Entire companies like CGC, CBCS, grading companies have built their banner on establishing these items, these collectibles, making collectibles more valuable than what they were without their slab and their plastic protection. This wall of comics behind me has been theoretically improved, theoretically increased in value because of this, and because of this wide scope of perceived value because something is in a good condition or a certain condition. So let me ask you this question. If your comic book collection is just for fun, why are you bagging and boarding it? Why are you taking so meticulous care of it? Why are you buying one to read and one to collect? The answer is because you look at this item as more than just a piece of memorabilia, more than just like nostalgia or just something that you love. You're looking at this as a collector's item and something that could be worth something one day. Now, that's not to say that you have any interest in selling your collection right this minute or even selling it in the future. I'm not saying that. But that idea that you are passing this down to somebody, or that you are basically saying that, hey, this is valuable, this is worth something to me. I think the idea of the comic book is the ultimate collectible that is rooted in not only financial but also fun. In its very essence, it is brittle, delicate, easily mishandled, easily torn, destroyed. And in that, it therefore gains more value as far as money because it is so hard to keep in nice condition. This Wizard #1 that I got, somebody took the care to keep this in pretty much identical condition to what it was 33 years ago. Why is that? It's because they were thinking about money. They were thinking that this thing was going to be worth something one day. And I really had to go back and see, was this happening in the 80s? The answer is yes. Was this happening in the 70s? The start of it, yes. This has been attached to these comics since these comics have been around for the last 50 years. There is no denying that. And all the people that say, oh, I just collect what I love, or I collect just for the fun of it, or I collect, just to have it, the passion for the hobby. I think you're maybe lying to yourself. I think you're being a little bit disingenuous with what you're doing, because I'm going to just tell you right now, even if I get tired of all of these slabs, and if I get tired of all these comics, and I just want to be done with it, you think I'm really going to let this go for absolutely nothing, or let this go for pennies on the dollar? No, I am going to sell these for as much money as I can possibly get out of it. And if you aren't doing that, you're lying to yourself also. That is your plan. Your plan is also to probably sell these for more than what you paid for it. This idea of this investment. This whole comic book collection that you've got in your closet, all those short boxes, long boxes, meticulously bagged and boarded and protected and stored in perfect humidity and perfect conditions. What are you doing that for? The chances of you reading that more than once, going back in there and reading those stories again, if you actually have read them at all, is 0 to none. You're doing this for its future value or its immediate value that you can sell and flip. That is what comic books are. Now, the stories, the characters we know and love, that is something separate. That love of comics is separate. And in the taking care of your comics because you love the characters and you love the thing, that is separate as well. But this idea that this isn't about money, you're lying to yourself. For all of you out there that are playing the Paragon, playing the high horse, playing the idea that, oh, this is, I'm above that, you're lying to yourself. The idea of spending tens and tens of thousands of dollars, 5 figures, 6 figures, potentially 7 figures on a comic book. Yeah, you bought that Detective Comics 27. You love Batman. Batman is so important to you. Batman got you through the hardest time in your life. Batman has always been there. You love Batman. We get it. You love Batman. Batman is worth $1 million to you. Okay, what happens when it's time to let Batman go? You're selling Batman, and you're trying to get money for Batman. That thing you're buying, that item you love, I hate to break it to you, but you are going to try to get as much money as you can for that. Guys, comic books are meant to be enjoyed. They're meant to be loved. They're meant to be read. But at the end of the day, these are collector's items. These are items that we are trying to get money for. And anybody that's telling you or spinning some false narrative that this is something, anything other than that, is just trying to get clout, trying to get brownie points. Guys, what do you guys think? If at any point in time you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you like this video, subscribe for more. Take care.